Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for your outstanding State of the City address. In that address, Mr. Mayor, you mentioned that you had several criteria for businesses that would directly benefit the residents of the City of Cleveland, and we certainly applaud your efforts in that regard. As you know, Mr. Mayor, the City of Cleveland has some 8,000 individuals returning back to the community after a period of incarceration. I'd like to ask you if the city would consider as an additional criteria to those businesses that they not exclude formerly incarcerated individuals from employment possibilities solely on the basis that they have a felony conviction.
Well, I will tell you already, it's not in legislative form, but already we have, through our Economic Development Department, a set of policy that is the case, that people should not be excluded just based on a criminal background. I will also tell you that much of the impediment for many people to get jobs is a state schedule of crimes that have been committed that really prohibits them from getting jobs. So if I know there are young women who want to go into the healthcare field, but they're prohibited from doing that. There are young men who want to maybe be in healthcare. They're prohibited. So one of the things we have to do is look at that state schedule and make it more realistic for today. Now, the other part about, these are difficult times, and when employers have a choice, they usually make whatever they believe is the best choice for them. And so now the competition is keen. And in order for us to really absorb more people into the job market, we have to do two things. One is to create prosperity. That's why I believe in self-help. You can't ask someone else to do for you what you should be doing for your own. And so we need self-help. So we spend enough, I think our regional gross product is probably about $180 billion. You take an additional 3 to 4% of that, billions of dollars that we could spend with our own companies to procure goods and services. That will help keep that company in business. It will help retain jobs and in some cases grow jobs. I believe that is one way that we can do it. The other is to look at the emerging economy of sustainability that will allow us to train people into the workforce of the future. Now, the final thing on that is that we as a community have to take responsibility, meaning that, we can't look to other people to do that. So I think creating entrepreneurship and small business opportunities, particularly with minority and female companies and local small businesses, will give us the greatest opportunity to hire, because those are the kind of business people who would take the risk and who would be inclined to hire people with criminal records. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me, Mayor Jackson. I'm a resident of the Ohio City neighborhood, and I've been a resident for 5.5 years. And we recently, my wife and I, had a baby. And the most common question we get every day is, when you move into the suburbs?
Right.
And my response to that is, we don't have any plans to move to the suburbs. We think Ohio City is one of the best places. It's one of the best places in this region to live. My question to you is, what is your administration doing to encourage more young families, particularly young families that have a choice where in this region they want to live in the city?
Well, good question. And first of all, I know now that you're not part of that survey they did with Forbes magazine. I'm looking for the list of the people that they interviewed because I'm pretty sure they didn't come up with that misery index on their own, that someone contributed to that. So I think we as a community have a great responsibility, and that leads to what I'm saying, because that in and of itself helps people make decisions. the fact that we are proud of who we are and what we are, and recognizing the reality of our existence, that we do have a long way to go, but we're not that bad. Matter of fact, we're pretty good, pretty good. Now, what we're doing policy-wise, I call it a 24-hour city. Young people need excitement. They need something happening all the time. And we have to create a city that's alive and vibrant 24 hours a day. And I believe that if you create a city that has a downtown neighborhood of 25,000 people or more, you'll have the kind of demand for goods and service off work hours that you would have with people who just come here and work and then go home to the suburbs. So I think that kind of replicating the venues that are in a downtown out into neighborhoods that allow for people to have that kind of activity in neighborhoods is key. But the most important thing that we're doing and that I've been promoting, that I know, I'm not guessing, I know, that will ensure population stability and growth, even if we are falling behind on all these other things, is education. Education. People make choices when their children become school age as to where they want to live. And you cannot blame parents for wanting to have the best for their children. So when we are able to create educational excellence through the transformation plan, when we're able to coordinate educational activities throughout this county to be known worldwide as a place where if you want to have good quality education, you go to Cleveland and to Cuyahoga County. And when we begin to put together a systematic approach of moving children from high school into college and finding ways to reduce their costs, like the program that Dr. Sanders is trying to implement with the Pell Grants and scholarship program, we can position ourselves as a city and region that will be the most attractive city and region in this country for people, young people, to stay in and grow their family in and to move to. Now, of course, there's all these other things, because you need a career path. You need quality of life. You need public safety. You need all that. But the one thing that drives most of this, because you have all those negative things in Ohio City, like I have it in Central, like they have it in Tremont. You know, it's an urban center, right? But the thing that will drive you the most, I think, would be education. Okay.
Today, at this special City Club Forum, we have been listening to the 2010 State of the City address by Mayor Frank Jackson. Thank you very much, Mayor Jackson. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This forum is now adjourned.
For information on upcoming speakers or for podcasts of the City Club, go to cityclub.org.